Welcome back, guys, to my YouTube channel. Today, I'll show you a little application here recently that I wrote. This application, like it's a very it's kind of like enterprise level application. Recently, I had opportunity to work on React and ASP.NET Core Entity Framework. So based on that, I decided to write some little tutorial for you guys so that you can follow along using all these technologies. As you know, both ASP.NET Core and React is in Entity Framework. They're really popular out there. It's really cool technologies. Anyway, to be able to follow along with this tutorial that I have written, you should be you should have general understanding of C# programming languages for the server side, and of course some JavaScript. Even though we are writing the React, we're using React framework. I'll be explaining to you some of the feature of the React as we write along. So basic understanding would be suffice, and even if you do not know about React, you should be able to follow along, assuming you have basic understanding of JavaScript and TypeScript. And then, of course, for persisting and then getting data, we'll be using SQL Server in the back end. And to be able to run this application, you need to have, of course, you can download the Visual Studio Community Edition 2019 for free. And when you download, it gives you option to make sure you download a node. And when you download node, the NPM is automatically included. And you can also download SQL Server, either developer version or express version, just a free version of it. So that is all you need. So let me show you what this application does. Let me go ahead and run this application. I'm going to say this is my ASP.NET Core application. I'm going to set this application as a startup project in Visual Studio. I have a bunch of different projects. For example, I have a console application because, while writing, I realized that I need to, upload large amount of data into SQL Server. So I needed that project here, and my database project, my model, my service, all the parser, everything is here. Okay, very first thing I'm going to do in this project, I'm going to set this as a startup project. And then let's go ahead and run this into IIS Express. Okay, while the project is being loaded, this project is about, basically, I don't know how much you guys do, investing in the stock market. This is about, it's a really useful application for the trader, people who do investing as a hobby, basically keeping track of how your stock is really performing and on the daily basis and stuff like that. Okay, anyway, this is very simple application right now. As you can see, it's just a placeholder. Most of the feature as of now is just like admin feature. Very simple. I don't have any layout or anything, any theme design yet. So I go into here, view publicly traded companies here. I have this information in the backend database. So from the backend database, it loads some of this information. These are some of the companies that I follow. Actually, this is just the IBM. I don't really like IBM. It's not. I have nothing against IBM, of course, but it's the performance-wise, not really doing that great compared to other companies. Anyway, I have a Microsoft, Cloudflare, all these different companies, and their information. This information is kind of like a bogus because I don't know when the IPO of Microsoft went on. So because I needed this piece of data while writing the code, and I just placeholder. So don't think this is actual IPO data Microsoft. I don't know when it was. And just like that, I have other company, Cloudflare, Square, Twitter, Facebook, and of course my favorite company like Fastly, which is like a CDN, content management, and a lot of new things. It's really one of the really cool company that I follow. Anyways, enough about it. Now let's say as a trader, you want to see how stock is doing. So from there you can see view stock details. Of course, right, like this one doesn't have my data is not loaded yet. That's why you don't see anything here. Let me show you the one that has the data loaded already. I will show you the Microsoft here. If I go into the view stock details here, it's give me this view which can see all the stock for the given year from starting from 2000 and going all the way to up to here 2020. Let's see how the Microsoft did in the year 2020. If you click this button here, it opens the monthly view after a stock, how on the given month your stock Microsoft really did here. And just to see how it was doing in August, we can go ahead and click this one. And then here right now, it's the data is loading right now. It's just finished loading. I should have some sort of little please wait, but it's still, like I said, it's still writing a lot of feature on it. So as a trader, this is very good information. Like you can see, it's starting from August 3rd. Microsoft opened when it started trading in the Wall Street. It opened in this price, when this high, when it was low. Eventually it got settled. It closed in this price right here. And for the given day, this is the volume. This was the volume of Microsoft. At the same time, you can go all the way to, let's see how it was doing, and all the way to 31st, as you can see, the same information. And not only that, this is like my tabular information of how the stock was doing. I have, for example, graphical representation is a lot easier to see and understand rather than viewing in the table. So you can see, this is the date, and this is how his stock was doing on the given date. And this one is by the open price, when his stock was open. This bar graph is based on the open price for the given date. And then I have one more chart here. This chart is basically volume. As a trader, or investor, it's a volume is very, very important, especially for the day trader. They would like whether it's a really high volume people are buying. That is important information. So for example, here it's a release is on 8.3. There's a huge amount of volume right here because the chart this graph is really, really high up. There's a little bug right here in my application. It only shows 789 as a volume, but this volume is really big here. Yeah, as you can see in the tooltip and pop-up. So anyway, this is the basic application. So this is for Microsoft. Let's go. Next thing I want to show you. Let's first thing we can do. Let's go ahead and then I'm going to load some data for this company called Fastly. To be able to do that, I wrote a little console application here. I'm going to set this as a console application, as a startup project, so that I can load this. This code is not that important. We'll cover it later, but this is just kind of like a utility tool that I need, so I should be able to upload data into SQL Server. And then here is a Fastly I changed, and based on that, I have data in this folder here. Here's all the data in the Fastly data that I got. By the way, I got this information from Yahoo Finances. I downloaded this, and now I'm going to purchase this information into a SQL Server. Let's go ahead and run this. Hopefully, this application runs. Nothing is broken or anything. And then if I open my SQL Server, let's see, my company info is Fastly with the ID 4005. And then if I do where clause, let's see, did it actually work? Persisted my data, loaded my data into database. Oh, cool. All right, so it loaded this data into my database right here. And then if I now go into, let me close this now, and I'm going to run this, my website as a startup project now. So that's where, okay, so it's going to run. All right, let's see. Okay, here is my Fastly. I'm going to go into view stock details. So right now, of course, the Fastly is, I think it's a fairly new company. It went to public recently. So it only has, stock information for the year 2019 and 2020. Let's see how it did in 2020. I want to see how it did in January. It's loading. So in January, the stock was around $21 when it opened in January 2nd. Of course, first is the holiday. And then it was this price right here. It climbed up a little bit and settled this. And maybe we just want to see how it was did on the end of January. Yeah, 23. Win a couple of bucks here. Anyway, so let's see. I want to see how it is doing right now in a month of August. Wow, this is one of really awesome stock in recently. See, it's like $99. Started from 12 in a year. It's like huge amount of. I wish I bought it a long time ago, but I bought it when it was not that bad. Okay, that's about the application. Beside that, it also has the graphical representation of the same data based on the date and the open price. As you can see, as a trader, these are really important information here. You can basically analyze how the stock is doing. And then I also have, stock is doing in terms of volume. That is very important information. So right here, as you can see, the volume was really, really high on 8.6, 2020 8.6. It could be, sometimes the volume could be, selling volume, pressure, or maybe people are buying. Let's see on 8.6, there was high volume. And the price on 8.6. Yeah, it was actually, as you can see, it was a selling volume because the stock price on the 5th was this, 107.56, but went down to 85. I mean, for some reason on that day, huge amount of. Oh, you know what? That is after the reporting. Once it reported its earning for the given quarter, for some reason, even though, as I keep track, as I said before, even though the stock was doing good, report was not that bad, but it was already way up, so people started selling in Wall Street. Anyway, that is that information. So what we'll do, starting from next video, is that we will start from the scratch. I'll show you how to write application like this using React and Entity Framework. All right, guys, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel and watching these videos and learning and coding and stuff like that. So anyway, I was so busy with my work, so I was not able to record a lot of videos, tutorial videos, but I would be recording a lot of videos soon. Thank you so much.